Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book. Whoa, whoa. He has a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, about the Bible. So, Jace and Dedeker, it's a new dawn. How are we doing on this new dawn day?
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new book of the Bible. It's Leviticus, baby.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I was going to say something, but that song pretty much said everything.
You don't need to say anything now.
And let me tell you, my entire life, I never thought I would be so excited to be reading the book of Leviticus. And I don't think it's because of the content of Leviticus. I think it's just because I'm ready to move on from Exodus and start something new. So we'll see how many chapters it takes before I'm like, oh my God, when are we going to be done with Leviticus?
Well, it's a shorter book, right? Then, like, we're starting to get into the short books now.
Yes.
short books, yeah.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I don't know if either of you are familiar with the book, The Year of Living Biblically.
No. I mean, I've
Have
heard
you
of
heard
it
of
before,
it?
but I've never read
Definitely
it.
not familiar.
Yeah, it's by this author, A.J. Jacobs. I read it a few years ago. It's really interesting. He basically decided, almost kind of on a dare, that he was going to try to spend a year following every single rule laid down in the Bible. And he kind of split it up where it was like the first 6 months of the year was all Old Testament law, and then he would switch in the last 6 months of the year to New Testament law.
So how did that work out for him?
Well, I don't think he was particularly religious. Like, he was Jewish, but like kind of Jewish just by culture rather than by religion, at least from what I recall. And it was just really, really interesting because a lot of the stuff came from Levitical law. You know, a lot of these weird, obscure things that he couldn't do, of like when he could and couldn't have sex with his wife, or what kind of content he was allowed to have in the house, or like what kind of clothes he was allowed to wear. And he kind of just documented his experience. I'd highly recommend it. It was a really, really interesting read. And that kind of makes me more excited to dive into Leviticus to kind of have a refresher essentially on all the obscure things that are in Leviticus.
Wow.
Well, and this is a book that I've definitely heard quoted a lot in debates about things like homosexuality, stuff like that. Like Leviticus, stuff from Leviticus gets brought up a lot.
I'll be very interested once we get there.
Yeah, I've read parts of it, but I've definitely never read the whole thing. And I don't know very many people who have, because it's kind of known as a very kind of legalistic, not very story-based book of the Bible.
Look, honestly, the way I feel is if we could get through 3 rounds of repetition of IKEA instructions at the end of Exodus,
anything.
We can get through anything.
Yeah. So speaking of those 3 rounds, is that what happened? What happened last time?
There was more repetition. It was just, again, like, yes, and then they built these things to order. And
there was one important thing that happened at the end, though.
And Moses assembled everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he wasn't allowed to go in the place.
Yeah.
And then they were like, too bad, bye, Moses. Peace. I mean, it was weird. It was a weird way to end the book, and I felt bad for Moses. I felt like he had done a lot for God. He had been God's mouthpiece, and yet God was like, nah, you're not allowed in. Aaron, I like him better. Quite frankly,
you get to build this like Fieldstad and IKEA entertainment center, but heck no, you don't get to put your DVDs inside of it.
No,
are you kidding me?
You don't get to use it. You don't even get to watch anything. Even if I want to watch something, you don't get to be in the room with me.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Well, hopefully that'll be different as we start into Leviticus. But as we start into Leviticus, what are we drinking?
I have a Golden State ginger grass hard cider.
Ginger grass?
That sounds tasty.
Ginger grass. It's made of grass and ginger. No, lemongrass and ginger.
Oh, I see.
That sounds so much up my alley. I really want to try it.
It's actually really good. Next time you're in town, Dedeker, I'll get us some.
I had one earlier. It was quite good.
Yeah, and see, it's surprisingly boozy. It's 6.1 alcohol content, and yet, it sneaks up on you. So here we are.
So I have to work basically as soon as we're done recording, so I can't get super smashed. And so I was kind of trying to look around the house and be like, do I have just like a very light beer or like what? And there's nothing in the house. And so I just cobbled together a very nice root beer with the tiniest splash of whiskey in it.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice little treat. It's like a cocktail for a kid. If you were going to try to give a kid alcohol.
Okay, maybe not.
I should have put a scoop of ice cream in it if I was really thinking.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. A little boozy root beer float.
Not that we're telling anyone to give their child alcohol.
Yeah, don't give
Just
childs alcohol.
Hypothetically, if you were, yes.
Yeah. Well, I am living it up with a couple Jell-O shots here.
Like
actually.
you're freaking a freshman in
I know, like a frat
college. Jeez.
Okay, I know.
What kind of Jell-O shots do you have there?
You say that, but so these are Jell-O shots that are made by my roommate Eric, and he does this for any sort of event that we have. So, like for an Oscar party or a Super Bowl party or just whatever kind of event he'll make.
He's very proud of his Jell-O shots, and I will say that they are usually pretty good.
Yes, so these are gourmet Jell-O shots.
Gourmet.
Not your normal, just kind of like lots of sugar and some booze, like sugar and vodka in a Jell-O. So one of these ones I'm having is a whiskey sour, which is actually made with like flavorless clear Jell-O, but with like sweet and sour mix and whiskey. And it like really does taste like you're drinking a whiskey sour,
but also eating it.
But you're also
Except you're kind of just sucking it out of a cup.
Yeah, you're kind of squishing it.
Yeah, I see him over there next to me, like kind of trying to fish it out with his tongue.
Yeah,
kind of like.
Oh gosh, really paint a word picture there.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening.
But this other one that I'm going to have a little bit later in the episode. This one is the exciting one. So this is Nigori sake and strawberry vodka with jalapeno juice and mint.
Whoa.
So it's like strawberry sweet and also spicy. Yeah, and it's it's pretty intense.
It's a party in your mouth.
Sounds tasty though.
We'll have to find an exciting moment for me to have it, because it's going to kind of knock me out for a little bit. It's very, very spicy.
Let's not do it during the time that you're reading then.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're going to do this.
Let's do it. So we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink or suck-a-luck your little Jell-O shots along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not suck or drink or any of the above at the same time as your car activities.
Oh my God, you guys!
That's terrible.
This has just gotten out of hand.
It's fine. We're good.
We'll
good.
bring it back. It's okay. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back next time.
All right.
Okay, great.
And with that, it is now time for the first chapter of Leviticus. Leviticus 1. Yahweh called to Moses and spoke to him out of the tent of meeting. Because again, he's not allowed to be there.
Oh, I see.
No,
Did he
it's
have to
just
call
funny.
From him?
No, I'm laughing because like I see like Yahweh in there, and then he pokes his head out, and he's like, "Yo, Moses, like don't come in, don't even think about coming in here. But hey, could you do something for me?" So yes,
it's like when you're like, you gotten out of the shower and you're in your bedroom, but you need to talk to your roommate, so you're just like, hey, like trying to use the door to hide your nakedness.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. Okay, so Yahweh called to Moses and spoke to him out of the tent of meeting, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when any one of you offers an offering to Yahweh, you shall offer your offering of the cattle from the herd and from the flock." Okay.
Sorry, okay. Now just with that image before of like God just got out of the shower and just needs to like talk to his roommate Moses, it just seems really arbitrary where Moses is like, wait, why are you telling me this now? What is going on? Did this just occur to you as one of those shower thoughts where you're like, oh right, I need to remember to do that thing and tell him that thing?
Yeah.
That is definitely shower thoughts.
Y'all do these offerings to me, like this is how it needs to happen. Yeah, this is really random. Okay. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without blemish.
No zits.
I wonder, I'm like, what constitutes as a blemish?
I think
Maybe
it just
like
means
deformities, probably.
Oh.
It's got to be
Just,
like
a
the
good
best
sound.
the best cattle you could have.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I guess the
wins, like,
implication
best
being
in
that like you're
show.
not going to give Yahweh like the crappy cattle that you don't want anymore.
I see.
It has to be a sacrifice. It has to be you giving up something good.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So he shall offer it at the door of the tent of meeting, that he may be accepted before Yahweh. I think, like, he may be accepted, like the cattle, the male cattle.
I
no,
think it's so the person will be
offering
accepted.
it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering. They're going to burn this thing alive? This is horrifying.
I
think they
burn
kill it
yeah.
first. Because can you imagine lighting a live animal on fire and
No,
letting
I
it
really
run amok
can't.
in your tent of meeting, your fabric and wooden enclosure? They're not going to light just like a sheep on fire.
That's
and let it
true.
Run
The
amok.
sheep would burn
keep-
down
keep-
that shit.
Keep reading here.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Yes. So he shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. He shall kill the bull before Yahweh. Aaron's sons, the priests, shall present, that's a mouthful, shall present the blood and sprinkle the blood around on the altar that is at the door of the tent of meeting. He shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. Yikes. The sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire on the altar and lay wood in order on the fire, and Aaron's sons the priests shall lay the pieces, the head, and the fat in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar.
What order do you think it is?
I don't know.
I think there's like a specific way they need to be laid out.
Well, is
that
it
they
like
just know
tail,
already.
back leg,
Okay.
next leg,
Yes.
like inner, like
We gotta alphabetize this cow.
Well,
Yeah.
remember there was something, back in maybe Genesis about like laying pieces of the animal on one side and then on the other side with like a space in the
Right.
middle. Like there's probably
I
a
remember
similar kind of like normal layout that's part of their routines. But I did want to point out that for whatever reason, this thing of like, and what was it? Shall lay the pieces and the head and the fat in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded,
Bringing it back.
It reminded me of that book. Where it's like this story keeps going on and about like, and in that house there was a room, and in that room there was a closet, and in that closet
Do you mean like
there was
like
a
the
box.
house that Jack built, or
No, it like goes on
a
and
hole
on
at
and
the
on
bottom of
and-
the sea?
No, there's like a
Oh.
mouse in the box at the end. It was like a little children's picture book, but it was all like spooky, spooky, spooky. And in that thing was this, and in that was this. And it kind of keeps smaller and smaller until eventually it's just like, and there's a mouse. And he's like all cute.
Oh,
Anyway. So,
I have a feeling we're not going to be led to a cute mouse at the end of this
no,
chapter.
you don't think so?
unfortunately, no. And if we were, then the mouse would be dead and flayed as well, and also
Oh.
set on fire, I'm assuming. Anyways, here we are.
Okay.
Okay, so, yes. So Aaron's sons, the priest, shall lay the pieces, the head, and the fat in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar, but its innards and its legs he shall wash with water.
Okay.
Ew, and okay. Okay. The priest shall burn the whole on the altar, like
I guess everything,
WHOLE.
the whole
Yeah,
thing.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
On the altar for a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh. Yahweh says. No.
Sweet. Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. If his offering is from the flock, from the sheep, or from the goats for a burnt offering, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall kill it on the north side of the altar before Yahweh. Not the south, damn it. Not the south. Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. He shall... Okay, here we go. Already, it's happened. First
dear.
episode right now. We're gonna just say it all again. I did. This is, you're not having deja vu. It's happening again. Okay. He shall kill it on the north side. Aaron's sons, the priest, shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. He shall cut it into its pieces with its head and its fat. The priest shall lay them all in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar, but the innards and the legs he shall wash with water.
And then do what, though?
Do what? Like, I'm confused. Like, do they wash the innards and the legs and then put it all together and burn
then I guess
it,
let it dry, because they can't like burn something that's all wet.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But also, like, yeah, it says, and offer the whole and burn it on the altar. So I guess it still all goes on there.
Or do the priests keep the innards and the legs, and that's kind of their cut?
That's not going to be very... Ew. What can you eat of a leg? It's a hoof?
Get a nice little ham hock.
Yeah, like little...
This is not a ham. This is a freaking goat. I mean,
also,
I don't know.
Innards, sweetmeats, you can eat some haggis. You could get a fine meal out of innards and legs. Let me tell you, don't ask me to prepare it or eat it, but I will say with confidence, you could get a fine meal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I'll take your word for it. Okay. Okay. So the priest shall offer the whole and burn it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh. Yahweh says again, just so we go full circle. No problem. If his offering to Yahweh is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall offer his offering of 3 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree.
Well, a pigeon in this case.
Or of young pigeons. The priest shall bring it to the altar and wring off its head. Whoa. Goodness.
That got dark.
Yeah, this whole thing is dark. And burn it on the altar, and its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. And he shall take away its crop with its filth and cast it beside the altar on the east part. I'm sorry, this has got to smell terrible in here. Just that's why they're all the oil and the fragrances.
Yeah, exactly. All the perfume. Yeah.
Okay.
And the incense.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Oh, God. I'm sorry. He shall take away its crop with its filth and cast it beside the altar on the east part in the place of the ashes. He shall tear it by its wings, but shall not divide it apart. The priest shall burn it on the altar, on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh.
God said a third time. Delicious.
Pigeon, delicious.
Yes.
I just don't like the fact that, like, you have to, with your hands, rip this poor turtle dove and a partridge and a pear tree and a pigeon's wings off with your bare hands.
Well, but you're not ripping it off. You're just kind of breaking it.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about that. It's like you tear it by its wings, but don't divide it apart. So, like, don't rip it all the way in half.
Just be like,
just kind of,
kind of butterfly it. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't really
all right.
think about it either.
I don't know.
Okay.
Emily's too upset by this.
I'm really upset, and I guess
Let's move on.
People just knew already what this was. But
Let's move
whatever.
on. I think there's going to be less animal killing in this chapter.
Well, let's hope so.
Leviticus chapter 2. When anyone offers an offering of a meal offering to Yahweh, his offering shall be of fine flour. Okay, so you don't even have to kill anything.
I can get into this.
And he shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it. He shall bring it to Aaron's sons the priests, and he shall take his handful of fine flour and of its oil with all its frankincense, and the priest shall burn the memorial of it on the altar, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh. So it's like some kind of weird little oily, incensey kind of cake,
I'm like,
I guess.
You couldn't eat this thing, this oil.
Like a little mochi. Like a little mochi,
cake.
essentially. Like a smelly mochi.
And mochi's made of rice, I think.
Yes, it
rice
is.
flour.
Yeah.
But this is made out of, I guess, wheat flour, or maybe, I guess.
I guess
Okay.
it doesn't specify. It's just flour.
It doesn't.
And frankincense.
That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a most holy thing of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. Okay, so they do get to take the leftovers.
Yeah, they do get a cut of this one.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. When you offer an offering of a meal offering baked in the oven...
How many times can you say offering in the same sentence?
Well, let me tell you that if you're baking this offering that you offered in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. If your offering is a meal offering of the baking pan, it shall be of unleavened fine flour mixed with oil. Do you think the oil is because it's like when you're killing an animal and burning it, it has enough fat in it to burn, but like if it's just flour, you kind of need to give it some oil so that sucker actually takes off?
That makes sense.
See, I assumed it was because oil is valuable, and so it's like increasing the value of the thing that you're
yeah,
offering.
that would make
That's
sense.
a good point.
Maybe a little of each.
Okay. So, if it's of the baking pan, y'all, it shall be of unleavened fine flour mixed with oil. You shall cut it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a meal offering. If your offering is a meal offering of the frying pan,
Interesting.
it shall be made with fine flour with oil. So like a pancake?
Yeah.
Like an oily
yum.
pancake.
Like a latke.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
latke,
potato,
yes.
but that's a potato pancake.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. You shall bring the meal offering. Oh, I really want latkes now. It's been years since I've had any latkes.
I know, they're so freaking good. We got to make some for the show and then eat them while we're
That'd be
doing the
good.
show.
Whoa.
Oh, brilliant.
And then sacrifice them to Yahweh.
Yes.
Okay. You shall bring the meal offering that is made of these things to Yahweh, and it shall be presented to the priest, and he shall bring it to the altar. The priest shall take from the meal offering its memorial, and shall burn it on the altar, an offering made by fire of sweet savor to Yahweh. Latkes. That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. No meal offering which you shall offer to Yahweh shall be made with yeast.
Nah.
In case you
For
hadn't
you
picked
shall-
up on the fact that
Yes.
everything said
Unleavened,
Everything's
unleavened,
unleavened.
unleavened.
Please, 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 please. For you shall burn no yeast, nor any honey, as an offering made by fire to Yahweh. As an offering of first fruits, you shall offer them to Yahweh, but they shall not come up for a sweet savor on the altar. Why not this one?
I don't know. Yeah, what are first fruits? That's a good question.
Like the
Why don't you look
first
that
thing that's produced in your harvest.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, like
Hang
so you
on.
can't like eat some and then once you're full, then you give some to God. You know,
Feel like
first
Except that even if you give him the first fruits, they're not going to come up as a sweet savor. He's not going to be like,
no, he'll
think
be
he
like,
doesn't- I
ugh,
don't-
this needs to ripen.
It's
Ugh.
because he's like a toddler. He doesn't like fruits and vegetables. He's just like, give me the meat, give me the flour, give me the carbs.
right.
Don't
Wow.
make me eat my vegetables. I will eat them, but I'm not going to be happy about them.
God the toddler. Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yikes.
Every
Let's not-
every
not let
offering
word
of
get
your
out that
meal
we said that.
offering you shall season with salt. Neither shall you allow the salt of the covenant of your God to be lacking from your meal offerings. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. He's like, please, I need some variety here. You gotta salt
Yeah,
this.
give it to me.
Okay. If you offer a meal offering of first fruits to Yahweh, you shall offer for the meal offering of your first fruits grain in the ear parched with fire, bruised
What?
grain of the fresh ear.
You gotta look
What
that one
even-
up. You gotta look that
It's
one
gotta
up.
be an ear. It's gotta be an ear of
Corn-
wheat, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
an ear of wheat.
An ear
And it's
of
grains.
wheat? I've never heard of that.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's kind of like an ear of corn. It's the
Yeah.
thing that pops off the side that has all the little wheatling
Oh,
seedlings.
yeah.
the little
Yeah.
wheatlings.
The wheatlings, you know.
The little wheatlings.
Yeah, the little wheatlings.
That's cute.
Let's see. Hold on,
Okay.
I'm looking for some. Okay, the American Standard says also if you bring a grain offering of early ripened things to the Lord. So that's instead of first fruits, it's early ripened things.
Okay.
You shall bring fresh heads of grain roasted in the fire, grits of new growth for the grain offering of your early ripened things.
So he likes himself some grits on the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, crushed heads of your first grain that have been cooked in the fire. I guess that's grits. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
tasty. So he's like pancakes, grits,
Yeah.
some pigeon. I love it. Okay.
Leg a goat.
Yeah.
No prob.
You shall put oil on it and lay frankincense on it. It is a meal offering. The priest shall burn as its memorial part of its bruised grain and part of its oil, along with all its frankincense. It is an offering made by fire to Yahweh. I don't know about you, that really made me hungry now.
Yeah.
I was
could-
not feeling so hungry when they were like describing how to rip apart a pigeon, but now I'm like, grits, pancakes, where's some breakfast?
I mean, Jason and I had some Chinese food before this, so
That doesn't count.
I could,
All I had was like a bowl
I could
of
still
cereal.
go for some grits and some pancakes. Yeah.
I would definitely eat some grits right now.
I would eat a potato pancake.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I'm down. Whatever you.
We'll have a latke party.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Heck,
Perfect.
yes. Vodka and booze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about a
As God
booze?
intended.
They don't do booze offerings. I just realized.
At least not yet. We haven't gotten to the wine offerings.
Ooh, will there be wine offerings?
I don't know, but it seems like that'd be a good thing because it's like a valuable thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless it's just, I don't know, maybe that's just normal drinking stuff. Nothing special about it.
Maybe. All right.
Okay, here we go with Leviticus 3. If his offering is a sacrifice of peace offerings, if he offers it from the herd, whether male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before Yahweh. Wait, I'm confused. So these are peace offerings. What were the other ones?
The other ones were just normal offerings.
Normal offerings?
That's all.
So this
just
one
any
can
offerings.
be male or female.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
Interesting. The differentiation.
He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it at the door of the tent of meeting.
Mord.
And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood on the altar round about. He shall offer of the sacrifice of peace offerings an offering made by fire to Yahweh, the fat that covers the innards and all the fat that is on the innards, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver.
What is a cover of a liver?
Like a,
it's got to be like the fatty covering on a liver.
Like a liver sack. Don't Google
Ew.
that. You'll regret it.
Okay, please don't say liver sack ever again.
And the
Oh
cover
gosh, I
on-
really
don't. Yeah.
you told me not, and I did not listen to you, and I did a
She
Google
Googled
image
it,
search,
don't
and
worry.
now I'm.
Why would she
I
do that?
can't.
I'm not going to do that. I am not that much of a mess.
I've never so quickly gone from like being
Masochist.
hungry to not being hungry in
Oh, there you are.
such a short amount of time.
Okay.
Liver cover.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So the cover on the liver with the kidneys he shall take away.
Hey y'all, we're going to take a quick break. I want to tell you about our Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy, not only can you become part of our super cool community, you can also help ensure that this show is going to keep going. And because, reading every single word of the Bible, it's a little bit difficult to sustain, honestly. There's some production costs involved. It's not quite as easy as just sitting around and cracking open the Bible, even though it may appear that way. So even for just $1 a month, it helps us to keep the show going, and you also get access to our community. If you go to $6 a month, you can become a parishioner of ours, and that gets you access to our weekly bonus episodes. Our bonus episodes are super fun. They're attached to every single regular weekly episode that comes out. Sometimes it's a more in-depth analysis or research that we've done. Sometimes it's interviews with experts answering all of our silly questions. Sometimes it's us watching biblical movies or biblical musicals together and giving our own colorful commentary on them. Super fun. For $6 a month, the parishioner level. Or for $12 a month on our Patreon, you can become a disciple. And so in addition to supporting the show, getting all the bonus content, you also get ad-free episodes. You don't have to listen to this ad break anymore, and you get the episodes 2 days early. So again, if you want to join our community, get access to all that cool stuff, go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy.
We are also working to reach a goal of getting 300 patrons. And when we reach this goal, this is going to allow us to actually budget out the time and the money involved in recording 2 Bible studies a week instead of just 1. And that means that you don't have to wait as long between drunk Bible studies. If you're anything like me, I know at the end of each one, even if it was a hard one to get through, I'm like, but I want the next one. I want to know what happens next. I want to, get more of this Bible knowledge. So if you can help us get to 300 patrons, whether that's you yourself becoming a patron or whether that's telling your friends, getting them on board, once we hit 300, we can start releasing 2 Bible studies a week, which would be super exciting. And then you all have to wait less time for getting another episode. So it's win-win-win for everyone involved.
And finally, if you love the show, it would really, really help us out, in addition to all the ways above, that it would help us out if you could write a review for this show. So go to iTunes and write us a little review. Talk to us about all of the things that you love about the show, if you find it funny, if you find it informative, if, like my mom, you have never read the Bible before and you're learning like so many amazing new things, and it's like new information even as like a 60-something-year-old. We would love to hear about all of that, because definitely like me as a 30-something-year-old had no idea about all of this, and I am getting a crash course in the Bible.
Make sure when you leave us a review, you let us know your ASL. Your age, sex, location.
Oh my gosh.
Make it feel like it's IRC in the mid 90s.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Okay, we don't need to know all of those things. Sorry, Mom. Hashtag sorry, Mom. No, just it's fun getting to talk to her about all of the things that we're learning every single week about the Bible. So, yeah, if you're getting something out of the show, we would love a review from you. Thank you so much.
Where is it going to take it?
Away.
So this is interesting, though, that in the other ones, like, we took out the innards and the legs and we washed those and maybe didn't burn them, ? But this one, like, we're very specifically burning the innards for this, like, peace offering, I guess.
Great.
Right? Anyway, that was confusing. So Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar on the burnt offering, which is on the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire of sweet savor to Yahweh.
Fatty liver.
If his offering for a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yahweh is from the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If
Here
he
we
offers,
go again. Okay,
yep.
so it's like we got to go through each stage of like I assume the rich people are going to be the ones offering a cow. And then maybe the middle class is going to be offering a sheep or a goat, and then probably the poor people are going to be offering either a bird or pancakes or whatever. A Pidgey, yeah.
Pidgeotto?
Yeah,
Pidgeot, what's the...
Pidgeotto and...
Pidgeotto?
Pidgeotto, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are more of the Pokemon generation than I am.
Yeah.
Okay, if he... Right, no blemishes, got it. If he offers a lamb for his offering, then he shall offer it before Yahweh. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it before the tent of the meeting. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle its blood on the altar round about. He shall offer from the sacrifice of peace offerings an offering made by fire to Yahweh. Its fat, the entire tail fat...
Wait, do tails have fat?
They do, apparently. I think on sheep they do.
Really? See, my cat's tails are just really like thin and then bushy.
This is, I guess Sheepy's got some tail fat.
Well, this is what the first line in the Wikipedia for tail fat says. Tail fat is the fat of some breeds of sheep, especially a fat-tailed sheep.
Good name for it, then.
Okay, thanks for the help, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yep.
Those sheep that have fat tails, duh.
Its fat, the entire tail fat, he shall take away close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is on the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, and the cover on the liver, also known as the liver sac, with the kidneys he shall take away.
Wow, but are they taking it away? Is it like a delicacy? I imagine all this fat is probably quite useful, right?
What do you use it for?
More oil. Use it to make more oil or lard, or use it for cooking, or use it to grease things. Animal fat's a very powerful and useful thing back in these days.
Yeah, maybe I read the first time around wrong. Maybe it's not specifying these are the things you burn, but this is the extensive list of things you're taking away and not burning.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's like, this is, even though it's a sacrifice to Yahweh, this is still so precious and useful to us that we need to reserve it.
Yeah, okay.
And Yahweh's like, you can have these things. I don't want them. I just want the meat.
Right. So the priest shall burn it on the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire to Yahweh. If his offering is a goat...
Here we go again.
Then he shall offer it before Yahweh, and he shall lay his hand on its head and kill it before the tent of meeting, and the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood on the altar round about. He shall offer from it as his offering an offer made by fire to Yahweh, the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is on the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that's on them, which is by the loins, and the liver sac, also known as the cover on the liver, with the kidneys. he shall
This
take
goat did
away.
not have a fatty tail. No fatty tails on this goat.
No, only fat-tailed sheep have those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The priest shall burn them on the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savor. All the fat is Yahweh's.
Wait, all the fat is Yahweh's this time?
Yeah, maybe they
wait.
are burning the fat then.
Maybe they are. Maybe it is.
It's
Who
really
knows?
like just
They can say it over and over again in the same way, but it doesn't make it any less confusing.
It's
like-
true. We
yeah,
don't
it's
understand it anymore by the end of it.
for being so weirdly meticulously detailed, it still leaves a lot
Of
that
questions.
we don't understand. Like a lot of
Yes.
questions of like, wait, which part are we doing what with? What? I guess maybe it's just a translation thing.
And
I
it
don't
doesn't specifically say that we burn the fat. It's just like the fat is Yahweh's. Keep it out for him. He might like come in the middle of the night like Santa Claus and take it.
know. Like a snack, like a
Yeah,
late night
a little
fat
late
snack.
night fat liver cover snack.
Ew. Okay, we laugh, but honestly, I love late night fat snacks in the form of like a cheese dip,
Oreos, which are
Yeah.
vegan.
some mozzarella sticks. You know, I mean, fat is a delicious thing. It makes sense to me why Yahweh is like, I need all this fat.
Yeah,
you
the
don't
fat
understand,
is
like, I
mine.
need all of it.
I'm kind of craving
That's the
some
best
like
part.
some cracklins or something.
What the hell is it?
Okay, so
crackling?
are we back around to being hungry
Now,
again?
yeah, now we're back around to being hungry again.
I'm sure they'll take it away from us again.
Yeah. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your dwellings that you shall eat neither fat nor blood.
Jeez.
Uh,
That's kind of sad.
So those are just for Yahweh. Okay, so no cracklins here. This is
No
just,
cracklins for the
you-
Hebrews.
You burn all the fats and you drain all the blood for Yahweh, and you don't
Wow.
eat it.
wow.
Well, I guess probably maybe a healthier group of people, or maybe less artery clogged, perhaps. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, maybe he was worried about their cholesterol or something.
Is it time now? Are you about to do the spicy spice?
I'm gonna have this spicy Jello shot now.
Okay.
Oh, that inspired you enough to want to take a spicy Jello shot?
Well,
Well, I'm
he
done
all this
reading,
fire
so,
and all
yeah.
this like fire. He's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's about to put
Okay,
fire
let's
in
hear
his
the sweet-
mouth.
Let's hear the sweet savor to Jace of the spicy.
Well, you just
Jell-O
did it in
shot.
one shot. That was a literal Jello shot, not like a Jello half slurp. Whoa, he's banging
he's
his.
really having a time.
He's having a
face
time.
is turning red. He's beating himself.
He's flogging himself. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was a spicy thing all at once. Ooh.
That jalapeno, huh?
Oh, my sinuses are all clear though now.
That's good.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
good.
How was it? It was a sweet savor.
It was a sweet savor.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, you can let
Right.
that wash down with Leviticus 4. Here we go. So, Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, if anyone sins unintentionally in any of the things which Yahweh has commanded not to be done, and does any one of them, if the anointed priest sins so as to bring guilt on the people, then let him offer for his sin, which he has sinned, a young bull without blemish to Yahweh for a sin offering."
Bulls now. Okay.
Okay, so wait. If anyone sins unintentionally, and then it says if the anointed priest sins so as to bring
Well,
guilt on
I think
the
it's
people?
different rules for different groups of people if they've unintentionally sinned, I feel.
Oh, I see. So it's like the overarching if anyone, and now we're going to go to the anointed priest first, and then we'll go on to other people?
Oh, maybe.
Is that what you
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not sure.
Okay, so a young bull. So, okay, he shall bring the bull to the door of the tent of meeting before Yahweh. He shall lay his hand on the head of the bull. Like all of these like sad hands on the head, and then I'm assuming that they're like cutting the throat of this bull and this animal. It's very sad.
Probably, yeah.
Jeez.
Most likely.
So, okay, you shall lay the hand on the head of the bull and kill the bull before Yahweh. The anointed priest shall take some of the blood of the bull and bring it to the tent of the meeting.
You keep wanting to put that
Of the
extra
meeting.
the in
Of
there.
meeting. The priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times before Yahweh, before the veil of the sanctuary.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. The priest shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahweh, which is in the tent of meeting, and he shall pour out all of the blood of the bull at the base of the altar of the burnt offering. Wait, so does he just like tip the bowl over and like pour all the blood out?
Yeah, I assume he's got it like a big sack on his shoulder, and he just sort of tips it over, and all the blood pours out.
I guess these guys must be like so used to just like dealing in
life,
blood
right?
and animal guts all the time.
But
They're
that's
just like,
but that's
whatever.
life for everyone, though, not just the priests. It's like you want a chicken for dinner, and you gotta kill it and drain all its blood and like pluck it. It's like, this is daily life, you know. People are used to dealing with animal innards and
I guess you're
blood
right.
and all those things.
I guess you're right. All right. Well, so he is this where I am? 8? Where am I? Help me out. Help me out. Okay.
I just like that. He shall.
No, I just didn't know what I want.
Oh,
Damn it. Okay. All right. Shut up, spicy boy. He shall take all the fat of the bowl of the sin offering off of it, the fat that covers the innards and all the fat that is on the innards, so the covering and then on it. So there's like an innard covering and then also like just the fat that's on it. Ew, gosh.
yeah.
Okay, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, which is by the loins, just in case you forgot from the last 50 times that I said it, and the cover on the liver, and with the kidneys he shall take away. Don't know where they take it, but
I
it's
think
away.
We're giving it to Yahweh.
Yeah, and then what?
Okay.
Does Yahweh actually swoop down and take all this stuff?
No, they burn it. They burn it. They burn it up to Yahweh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
And I'm sure it smells delicious,
No,
honestly.
No, it probably does, actually.
It probably does. Well, I mean, Ellie
guys.
doesn't really like the smell of animal flesh.
No, for
that
you
has
guys,
been burnt,
it
but
does not smell good
I
to me
do.
anymore. As it is taken off of the ox of the sacrifice of peace offerings. Oh, wait.
Wait, where did you just jump to?
Wait. The 2
no,
kidneys...
she's on point.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
that's
okay.
just
on the right
weird. That's
place,
just like
yeah.
weird how it says it. Okay, he shall take away as it is taken off the ox of the sacrifice of peace offerings. The priest shall burn them on the altar of burnt offering. It's not like the altar of the burnt offering. It's the altar of burnt offering.
Yeah, like, remember all the different altars we made?
Yeah,
There
so this
was,
is an
like,
altar of burnt offering. This is an altar of
incense
whatever.
offerings or whatever.
Yeah. Vodka offerings. Okay. The bull's skin, all its flesh, with its head, with its legs, its innards, and its dung. And its dung.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, there's going to be some of that in there, I guess.
Yep. Okay. Even the whole bull shall he carry forth outside the camp to a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, it shall be burned. If the whole congregation of Israel sins, the whole
Okay, hang on. So we
place,
just gotta differentiate. That was the process for if a priest sins.
Okay.
I think
And
so.
now we're moving on to if everyone sins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
This is interesting. If the whole congregation of Israel sins, and the thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done any of the things which Yahweh has commanded not to be done, and are guilty, when the sin in which they have sinned is known, then the assembly shall offer a young bull for a sin offering, and bring it before the tent of meeting. The elders of the congregation shall lay their hands, all the elders shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before Yahweh, and the bull shall be killed before Yahweh. The anointed priest shall bring the blood of the bull to the tent of meeting, and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle it 7 times. Very important,
There you go
7
again.
times.
I wonder how did that come to be? How did that come to be that we sprinkle it 7 times and that's just how we got to do? And we're not sprinkling blood; we're dipping a finger and then sprinkling. Like,
I don't know, man.
How?
Yahweh wants 7. 7 days, 7 times.
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay, some numerology. Got
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
He shall put, okay, so 7 times before Yahweh, before the veil. He shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar, which is before Yahweh, that is in the tent of meeting, and the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering. which is at the door of the tent of meeting. All its fat he shall take from it, and burn it on the altar.
Okay, so yeah, we are burning the fat.
Okay. Thus shall he do with the bull as he did with the bull of the sin offering. So shall he do with this. And the priest shall make atonement for them, and they shall be forgiven. He shall carry forth the bull outside the camp, and burn it as he burned the first bull. Okay, like the other bull that they were talking about, I guess?
The other sin bull.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The other sin bull. It is a sin offering for the assembly.
Okay, so pause for a moment.
Yes.
So we just covered what to do if the priest sins and brings shame on his peoples.
Sure.
And then if like the whole community sins.
Whole damn thing. I'm like, what did they do?
Though?
There was no difference that I saw.
It was a young bull. Was it a young bull the first time around? Yeah, they're both a young bull. It seems identical.
It seems like he's just like clarifying, and instead of being efficient and being like, if the whole assembly sins, do the same thing as you did with the priests.
Right.
He has to spell it out.
Yeah.
And repeat.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
What's our next category of
a ruler?
sin?
When a ruler sins. When a ruler sins and unwittingly does any one of all the things which Yahweh his God has commanded not be done, and is guilty, if his sin in which he has sinned is made known to him, he shall bring as an offering a goat, a male without blemish. Interesting, not a bull.
Yeah.
But a goat.
The ruler just gets to do
a goaty woaty. Yeah. He shall lay his hand on the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Yahweh. It is a sin offering. The priest shall take some of the...
again.
Yep, here we go. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of the burnt offering. Oh, this is different. Not 7.
Yeah.
Not 7 times. He shall pour out the rest of its blood at the base of the altar of the burnt offering. All its fat he shall burn on the altar, like the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin, and he will be forgiven.
Okay, that one was quite concise.
That's pretty quick.
It was quick.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
For the ruler, they're like, whatever, man. Like, you're a ruler. Like, you don't have to do much.
Just do a goat. Do it like the peace one. You got it.
Yeah. If any of the common people sins unwittingly in doing any of the things which Yahweh has commanded not be done and is guilty, if his sin which he has sinned is made known to him, then he shall bring for his offering a goat, a female.
What if it takes a full 180 and is like, you got to bring your pet dog, man?
Whoa,
that's
Like-
really dark and
not cool.
all of this is dark, but that's really dark. Okay.
Well, but wouldn't that really discourage people from sinning?
Yeah, but
so.
but they're saying that like he may have sinned unwittingly, unknowingly.
That is the funny thing here, that all of these so far have been unwittingly sinning.
Yeah.
None of these
Interesting.
cover willingly sinning.
Which I'm sure we'll get into.
Or are those just like you're kicked out?
Or they sacrificed those people on the burnt offering.
There you go.
No, because human sacrifice is out of fashion with Yahweh now,
That's true.
as we've learned.
In the few thousand years since Genesis, it's gone out of style.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So a female goat without blemish for his sin which he has sinned. He shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering and kill the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. The priest shall take some of the blood with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar. All its fat he shall take away, like the fat is taken away off of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn it on the altar for a sweet savor to Yahweh. And the priest shall make atonement for him, and he will be forgiven. If he brings a lamb as his offering for a sin offering, he shall bring
Kick
a female.
him out. 'Cause that's
I
an
know, how dare
abomination.
you?
Sorry.
Wrong.
I'm really trying to break up the repetition. I'm really keep hoping that it's going to break from the pattern, but it's just not.
No.
It's sad.
No, it's going to be a female without blemish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering and kill it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. The priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar. All its fat...
Okay, hang on.
Yes.
How many times per day is this happening?
I'm assuming
like,
just,
do you think-
10. 12.
No.
10, like, do you think constantly,
No.
throughout the day, it's like this underneath the altar is just like getting
Bloodier and
inundated
bloodier.
with animal blood?
I really hope that they have
bloody-
a drainage system.
a drainage system. Like what do you think is happening here? Or do you think this is something that only happens once in a blue moon?
I don't think this is happening that often. Yeah.
You don't think so?
Because, okay, the prerequisites for this is that someone has to
Sin.
have unwittingly have done something that's against one of the rules, which, based on how minute the rules are, I could see that happening, yes.
Yeah.
But it's like it has to happen, and essentially he has to be accused of it and, like, found guilty of it, basically. Right? It's like when someone makes him aware of the fact that he's done this. I just can't see this happening that often, because if it was happening several times a day, like all our flocks are dead. We can't keep doing this.
That's my question is, are they killing specifically like that person's animal?
Yeah.
Not just
they
like
have to bring something of their own possession.
Okay, I didn't know if the place just had like a flock of these things.
These are the sin goats.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like raising them to be slaughtered for sin offerings.
To be fair, though, like with pretty much all these herd animals, with the bulls, with the sheep, with the goats, like the male versions of all these are pretty useless.
Yeah.
Because you really only need one. You only keep one.
Yeah.
You keep the one that you want to be your breeder, and then honestly what happens on farms today is they get killed,
yes,
or
I
they
know.
get slaughtered for meat.
That's why I don't eat meat.
And so this is kind of like I don't know if this is like a convenient way to be able to process all these extra male animals, although then it switches to bringing a female animal, and so I'm like, does that mean it's worth more because it's technically a more valuable animal to you? There's all these kind of herd politics that I'm curious about.
And it's weird too, because the one where you have to bring a female is for the common people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if
It's
that
just
is the more
because-
valuable, that seems like a worse price to pay.
Well, it's probably because they're like, oh, you're common and women are less valuable than men, so here we'll bring a woman
but
goat.
Dedeker was just pointing out,
But
like,
not
that
in
with
a
animals,
herd.
they're not. Like,
Yes.
I know. I don't know.
So I don't know.
I don't know the mentality here. I don't know.
It is very confusing. But I don't think this is happening that often.
Okay.
I don't think the whole tent, the floor of the tent of meeting is now just like mud, because it's all of this like blood mixed with
mud
all
blood.
of the sand.
Mud blood. That's where it came from. Listen, I have one verse left.
Okay.
Can I say it?
Do it.
Okay. All its fat he shall take away, like the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them on the altar on the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, and the priest shall make atonement for him concerning his sin that he has sinned, and he will be forgiven.
Phooey.
Scene.
Wow.
Wait, so what about when the priest sins? Who supplies that cattle?
That's a great question. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Why
saying.
do you think the priest don't have his own cattle?
Oh, maybe.
They're literally there all the time. They're like having to like restart those lights, and I can't see them
But
also. Like, you just like their family,
Maybe.
their family's
Yeah.
herds.
Yeah, it's kind of, maybe it belongs to the tribe or something.
Yeah, or
Right?
like who provides it for the one where it's like the whole tribe has sinned? It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Like you've got to give the sin one. I guess maybe they all kind of own it collectively anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
But we just had a whole bunch of stuff about the rules covering if someone borrows your ox and it falls in a pit, and like who has to pay for damages or whatever. So
someone borrows your ox and then everyone collectively sins, and then you offer someone else's ox up to be sacrificed, and they didn't
Yeah.
want you to offer it up to be sacrificed, but then the sacrifice helped for the atonement. Then who do we have to disparage and kill?
yeah, no, these are the important questions, and I hope that Leviticus covers all of them in depth.
I don't know if that'll happen. What I'm really interested in is when they get to like, you know what, you murdered someone, you're out, you are banished, or we gonna kill you. Like, I want to see that just to kind of break up the monotony here.
So you want to deal more with like people murder rather than animal murder?
Well, definitely, I'd rather deal with that.
Yeah. Well, we have had a lot of like minutia of different offerings.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to move on from offerings to some other type of laws and ceremonies or something, right?
Yeah, I'm also interested in knowing like what kind of sins constitute a burnt offering and what kind of sins constitute something else.
Oh, yeah, like what's the level of sin that constitute a burnt offering?
Yeah, maybe we'll get into that in a bonus episode.
Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, I would like to know.
All right, well, we hope that you enjoyed that, basically going through the same thing over and over again for 4 chapters. But stick with us, stick with it, and we're looking forward to bringing you even more Leviticus next week.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at DrunkBiblecast, on Instagram at DrunkBibleStudy, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Emily Matlack, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Leviticus is Jet Powered Vixen by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.